time.
And starting here on debate number one, are children not a priority for the Jammu and Kashmir government? That's the question we are asking. I'm joined by Dr. Seshadri Chari, member, National Executive and Convenor, Foreign Affairs Cell of the BJP. Joining me live from Delhi, Sushil Pandit, activist, joining me live in our studios here in Delhi. Manju, writer and activist, also with us in our Delhi studios. Devender, Rana, senior leader and MLA of the National Conference, also joining me from Delhi. From Srinagar, I have Shabnam, lone advocate in the Supreme Court. Irfan Hafeez, lone joins her, activist and lawyer from Srinagar. And Sunita Devi, parent of one of the children who is in this school for girls in Jammu. Sunita Devi joins us live from Jammu. But let me come across to you first, Dr. Seshadri Chari. Is your government completely devoid of sensitivity when it looks at 200 children versus 200 cars? What's more important for you, Dr. Seshadri Chari, the 200 cars and their parking facilities, or 200 children whose future depends on whether or not they are educated in schools, and the current school where they are, they're about 3 months away from their examinations. It's a location that's closer to their house. And let me give you some other statistics that should actually surprise many. In the 7,200 villages in Jammu and Kashmir, 2,667 schools operate without any water facilities. 21,381 schools have no electricity at all in them. In such a situation, Dr. Seshadri Chari, a school that's running that actually educates 250 students, should that be turned into a parking lot?
No, whatever, yeah, no, I think you have a point. Whatever may be the commercial or logical reasoning for converting a school to a parking lot or a commercial establishment, I personally feel that it should not be done. Let us look at it from a very different point of view. All this burning down of schools in Jammu and Kashmir is nothing but a terrorist activity. It is part of the terror activity that is being carried on from outside the out of the border. We should all remember that the people who were behind the stone pelting, the people who were behind terrorism, people who were offering safe houses to terrorists, sneaking inside, people who were actually aiding and abetting attacks on the army units, people who were actually vitiating the atmosphere of peace in Jammu and Kashmir. It is the same set of people who are now behind these school burning episodes. So the school burning episode is not a one of the out of the situation thing. The school burning episode is a continuation of the terror activities that are being imposed in the state. That we should remember, one thing. Two, education and law and order is a state subject, no doubt about it. But when it comes to a terror attack on schools and keeping the children away from education for the future, it is not merely an education matter or a state subject or merely a law and order situation. It becomes a terror issue, and here the central government also should come in the picture.
But Dr. Seshadri Chari, the question that I am asking you, and I humbly put across this question to you, Dr. Seshadri Chari, that terror is one part of the story. 44 schools being burnt out by miscreants, by an atmosphere which was abetted by the separatists, by other terror outfits. That's one part of the story. What do you call a government? A government that wants to convert a running school of 250 children into a parking lot, for God's sake. What do you call such a government? Is that government ensuring the right to education that every child in this country has?
No, Navika, I told you right from the beginning that however lofty the idea may be, it may be an idea to get revenue, or it may be an idea to protect, to give additional protection to the school by creating a parking lot and a commercial unit and a school above it. whatever may be the idea.
There are no such plans.
The whole idea.
There are no such plans, Dr.
Very
Chari.
practical in the face of
Dr.
what has
Chari,
been
there are
happening
no
to
such
other
plans.
schools.
Dr. Chari, there are no such plans.
I don't think. No.
If
Even if the
congestion was
government's
the issue,
plans
sir,
are absolutely fine.
No,
I don't think this is the right time to do it.
No, there were no such plans, Dr. Chari.
Pardon?
Dr. Chari, there are no such plans. The fact is that if it was there are 3 parking lots coming in the vicinity. The third one, there is they just want the school ground so that they can extend an existing parking lot. And think about this, Dr. Chari. This is how they have behaved. The divisional commissioner,
I don't know.
No, sir, the divisional commissioner and his team have walked in on a Thursday.
I don't know the entire.
No, Dr. Chari, this is how the turn of events, and how do you turn around to this government and tell them to protect the schools across the state, sir? Because this is what they have done. They have walked in on a Thursday morning. The parents are inside. Sunita Devi ji hai hamare saath. She's one of the parents. You please listen to her. You see, this is the way they were treated. They walked in and told the children to file in a line. They stopped them from having their lunch also, said हम तुमको दूसरा school दिखाने ले जा रहे हैं. And they took them to a school which is ideally just about 150 meters away or 200 meters away. But the civil secretariat, because of security concerns, has blocked the road. It's a 1.5 kilometer roundabout walk now. Take the children there and tell them, आज से तुम यहीं पढ़ोगे. This is what was done, sir. One fine day they just come and say this school is no longer required. No, and then when we ask them, sir, when we ask them, they tell us it's a 1 year exercise of rationalization. Where is the rational here, sir? That's what is the explanation given. It's a 1 year exercise of rationalization that this school has 80 students and 40 teachers. So who appointed these 40 teachers in a government school, Dr. Chari? Nobody asked this question. But they said, let's shunt the students out.
No.
It's very easy to say this should not have happened, sir, but it is a BJP PDP government in Jammu and Kashmir and it has happened, sir.
It's an independent matter, but the question is not whether it is a BJP led government or a BJP supported government. Governments are governments. We are not looking at it from a political point of view. We are looking at it from a different perspective. Especially in a state like Jammu and Kashmir, we are looking at it from a very different perspective. I'll go into the details, but if what you say, even if 1% of what you say is correct, I think it has been very insensitive and it should not have been done in the first place. Secondly, if there is alternative space for the parking lot, it should be done. A school cannot be converted into a parking lot by any stretch of imagination.
Sir, Dr. Chari, the organization, the civic administration did not think of even the odd even formula in that area to reduce the congestion. But they just said it's an 80-year-old heritage building. Let's convert that into a parking lot, that entire compound. So no matter what happens to the school. सुनीता देवी जी, आज भी आपने प्रोटेस्ट किया. आज आपको क्या कहा गया? आपने नहीं. No, I'm just going across to the parents. No, sir, they have already cleared the desks. No, they have already cleared the desks. They first cleared the children. They first cleared the children on Thursday. Sir, this is what they did. They first cleared the children on Thursday, and then on Sunday evening, when Times Now picked up the story on Saturday and started putting out the reality on ground, on Sunday evening, they cleared the desks and chairs also out of the school, and they moved it to the other school. For 2 days, these children were sitting on the corridors and they were sitting and they were asked to study. The parents were asked कि आप अपने बच्चे को यहाँ पढ़ाना चाहते हैं, yes or no में जवाब दीजिए. अगर आपका जवाब no है तो बच्चे को लेके जाइए. In the new school, the teacher, this is how they were spoken to. We have children who have come out and told our reporters, Dr. Chari, कि we are feeling humiliated.
My information is different.
Sir, if this is what the state government is going to do with children, how do we trust them to renovate, restart the schools in the valley which have been burnt down? How do we turn around and question the so-called Hurriyat and the opposition for keeping quiet when 41 schools were burnt down, sir? How do we turn around and ask Devender, Rana this question as to where was the national conference when all this was happening in Kashmir? Why was the outrage not shown by Umar Abdullah and Farooq Abdullah? How do I ask Devender, Rana this question when the government of the day itself is not bothered about the children, Dr. Chari?
You can keep on asking questions, but I think in fairness, you allow others to reply. I have heard you. I have got different kinds of facts, but I will be able to corroborate those facts with what you have said now. Once these facts come into light, and if the state government has been found to be on a wrong track, I am sure after this program the state government will do the amends. I have told you in plain and simple words, if it is a heritage building, to run a school or a parking lot in a heritage building may be very different. if a parking lot, if a school heritage building cannot be run as a school, it is all the more important that the heritage building cannot be converted into a parking lot, period. But as far as the facts are concerned, I will have to cross check the facts. But if the administration has been insensitive, it is wrong. No matter who the government is run by.
We'll cross-check the facts for you here on the debate, Dr. Seshadri Chari. We'll cross-check the facts for you on the debate itself. We have Sunita Devi, parent of one of the students who is part of that school. Sunita Devi ji, आपको इस स्कूल से निकलने टाइम क्या कहा गया था? आपको अथॉरिटीज ने क्या कहा कि आप इस स्कूल से निकलकर दूसरे स्कूल में चले जाइए? दूसरे स्कूल में क्या डेस्क चेयर है, बच्चों के बैठने के लिए कुर्सी टेबल है क्या? और क्यों कहा जा रहा है आपको यहां से निकलने के लिए, सुनीता देवी जी?
हमें तो कुछ भी नहीं कहा गया, हमें बुलाया गया था स्कूल के बीच के पेरेंट्स की, बच्चों ने बोला कि सभी के पेरेंट्स आए, मम्मा आप भी आ जाओ। मैं भी गई, जैसे गए हैं उधर हमें कुछ नहीं बताया गया, कुछ बात ही नहीं की, बस ऐसे ही हम अंदर बैठे हुए, काफ़ी लेडीज थी, 250 बच्चा, उसकी मम्मी पापा सभी आए हुए थे। हम अंदर हॉल में बैठे हुए हैं और बाहर एक लाइन लगाई है, उस लाइन लगाने में बच्चों के बैग उठाए हैं, चलो जी दूसरे स्कूल में जा रहे हैं। तो जब मैंने देखा कि बच्चे बाहर जा रहे हैं, मैंने जाके पूछा, मैंने खुद पूछा कि कहाँ जा रहे हैं बच्चों को लेके, हमें तो सुबह का बिठाया हो, हमें तो कुछ बात बताओ। कहने लगे दूसरे स्कूल में जाना है। मैं कहा क्या करने जाना, क्यों लेके जाना, क्या टेंशन क्या है, बता दो हमें भी। कहते नहीं दूसरा स्कूल शिफ्ट करना है, इधर पार्किंग बननी है। मैं क्या पार्किंग जरूरी है कि स्कूल जरूरी है? कहते नहीं हमें पीछे से आर्डर आया, हमें इस बात का कोई पता नहीं। और जो आए हुए थे वो कहने लगे नहीं आज से ये स्कूल बंद। मैं क्या क्यों बंद है? मैंने बच्चों को रोक लिया, मैंने बच्चों को नहीं जाने दिया। मैं क्या जब तक हमें पूरा पता नहीं चलेगा तब तक बल्कि हम नहीं बच्चों को जाने देंगे। फिर उस स्कूल का प्रिंसिपल आया, उसने मेरे साथ बात की, कहने लगा कि उस स्कूल में मेरा पूरा ग्रुप और मैं पूरा बच्चों के साथ फेवर करूंगा, जब तक फाइनल नहीं होगा तब तक हम बच्चों को ऐसे नहीं छोड़ेंगे। मैंने ये पूछा कि जब 2 दिन हम स्कूल बच्चे नहीं जाते तो पेरेंट्स को बुला लेते हैं, पेरेंट्स आ जाते हैं मैडमों के पास, तो हाथ पांव जोड़ते हैं हमारे बच्चों के, चलो पढ़ाई कम हो गई, चलो हमारी गलती है। तो अब ये साल भर की कमाई कहाँ जाएगी बच्चों की? तो चलो मैं कहते नहीं हम इनके साथ हैं। जब मैंने सोचा चलो ठीक है, अगर बड़े कह रहे हैं तो मैं हाथ जोड़ के मैं अपने घर में आ गई। जैसे कि घर में आई तो पीछे से ये हुआ कि बच्चों को लेके डोगरहाल स्कूल में चले गए। वहाँ किसी ने बच्चों को जाने नहीं दिया और मैंने नहीं देखा। बच्चों ने ऐसे हलचली मचाई, बच्चों ने आके मेरे को बताया। दूसरे दिन कहते मम्मा हमारा स्कूल शिफ्ट हो गया। मैं क्या क्यों हो गया, किसी ने बोला? कहते हमें सभी ने, पुलिस भी आई थी वहाँ, तो हमें निकाल के उधर छोड़ दिया। चलो ठीक है, दूसरे दिन बच्चे सुबह गए स्कूल तो उधर ताला लगा हुआ था, पहाड़ी वाले उधर मतलब पहाड़ी वाले ताला लगा हुआ था, सीटी चौक उधर चले गए डोगरहाल में। जैसे बच्चे गए, बच्चों को कहीं बैठने के लिए जगह नहीं, नीचे एक चटाई सी डाली हुई है, बच्चे ऐसे बैठे जैसे क्रिकेट में आए होते हैं।
There you have the facts, Dr. Seshadri Chari. There you have the facts, Dr. Seshadri Chari, first-hand facts, and let me get in Devender Rana also into this debate. Devender Rana, is this the way education is treated in your state of Jammu and Kashmir? Are you only going to point fingers at the PDP, BJP government? What has been the role of the national conference? After all, even when the state was going through unrest and schools were being burnt down, where was it a major dharna? Where was it a major campaign by the national conference? Why does no political party actually find it important to raise these issues when it comes to talks with Pakistan, when it comes to inclusion of the Hurriyat as far as talks with Pakistan are concerned? Your political party is extremely worried about these issues. When it comes to education of small children and especially children belonging to the below poverty line families, no campaign, no dharnas, no issue being made out of any political party over there?
First and foremost, I think I must compliment Time Now for this campaign, because it's a very, very sensitive issue and amplifies the insensitivity of the government there. So far as National Conference is concerned, we have maintained that education should be turmoil and politically neutral. Mr. Seshadri Chari is here. He's a very seasoned person. I respect him. I think we should all get out of our political silos. It's a very important issue pertaining to the education of very poor children as articulated by you. I belong to the city, I know the geography and the dynamics. I think it is absolutely unfair to demolish this school and construct a parking lot there. And I'm surprised that this campaign is going on since last 48 hours. Our own activists are on the ground. They're also protesting. The parents are protesting. The children are protesting. The social activists are protesting. And the government has not given them an assurance. I was just hearing the Honorable Deputy Chief Minister. He said it is being politicized. Take politics out of it. This is my request. And just go by the sensitivity of the issue. Please hear the voice of those children who have been removed from there.
Mr. Rana,
and wait a minute,
the question I would like to ask you on behalf of all these students, that you are part of the system, the elected representatives of Jammu and Kashmir. It takes a news channel like Times Now to bring out these stories. You don't get to know what's happening on the ground. You have no reason to lead these protests until and unless a news channel like Times Now actually comes out with this. And the fact that even now, it's because you are getting an opportunity to take political pot shots at the PDP, BJP government that you've actually gotten into it. What about the right to education of these children? What about the future of Jammu and Kashmir? Isn't it your stakes also involved in building the future of Jammu and Kashmir?
I said it yesterday, I reiterate again. It is our responsibility. We owe it to the people. It is the future of the people of Jammu and Kashmir which is at stake. These 220 students come from below poverty line, and the economic section that they belong to, they deserve good education. And depriving them of good education, I think we all will have to, we will not be able to answer our posterity why we allowed this. I thank Time Now, but from the moment that we got to, I am not a legislator representing that area. There's a BJP legislator who's representing. There's also a minister from that constituency.
You're from the state, sir. You're from the state, sir. I'm sure you have your ways of
I say, I want to tell you, Navika, that if this school is demolished, I will feel morally responsible that I could not save it, and I will not be. I'll feel ashamed that a school has been demolished. I have no right, no inhibition.
Why is it? Devender Rana, why is it?
Fight for it.
Devender Rana, we appreciate the sentiment, sir, but we would have liked this sentiment to be shown, and the outrage to be shown, and the protest to be shown when the first school was burnt down in the valley, so that none of the other 43 would have been burnt down or destroyed.
When the schools were burnt,
so so why is it? Why what was just a one-line condemnation? One-line condemnation.
Wait a minute.
It's the same group of people who burnt down those schools with whom your leadership wants to engage. With whom your leadership wants not just engagement, but they want to get them and seat them on their heads. That's the kind of treatment they're giving to those people who are burning down and shutting down schools. For 3 months they call for a bandh and the schools are shut. Children don't have a place to study. At that time, where is the priority, sir?
Let me answer. National Conference at that point also raised this issue and maintained that education should be turmoil neutral, and urged the state government at that point as well that they should identify who are the people behind these burnings and punish these people and protect the schools. We have always been for education, and we will stay for the education of the children. Nothing in politics or anything is more important for us than the education of the children of the state of Jammu and Kashmir. We are committed to that, and we can forego any politics for that, because for us the education is primary, and that has to be. And this is a temple of learning. An old
sounds very good when it is all talk, but there was no action on ground.
It's an 8-year-old.
If the National Conference cadre wanted, we have not seen a single National Conference cadre stand there outside these schools saying we will guard these schools. Where was the cadre? Where was the cadre? Where was Umar Abdullah? Where was Devender Rana? Why weren't they standing outside these schools and we dare you to throw one stone at the school, we dare you to demolish another school, we dare you to burn another school, sir? Where was the anger then, sir? Where was the outrage then, sir?
Anand, to put the record straight, it is, I am the provincial president of Jammu, I can say with authority, it is our cadre which has even stood at night vigil with the parents, and has also today, before I entered this people, my team was there and were in conversation.
Your team was where? In Jammu?
If you want, I can give you the
I'm talking about the 44 schools that were destroyed in the valley, sir. I am talking about the 44 schools that were destroyed in the valley. Where were your cadre trying to protect the schools? Why is it when the government asked the teachers to turn chokidars, even the women teachers to turn chokidars, did the national conference cry outrage? Did the national conference say no, not the teachers, we will stand?
Anyway, Anand,
sir, it is very nice to hear when it is convenient.
Anand, wait a minute. Let us not digress. Let us not digress from the main issue. Today,
sir, the main issue is whether education is priority or is politicking and profiteering priority. That's the issue, sir. The core issue is education, future of children is not priority. 40 स्कूल जल गए, 44 स्कूल जल गए, जलने दो. That's the idea.
नहीं, उसमें हमने बात की.
250 बच्चों को एरिया का डिविजनल कमिश्नर घुसकर कहता है यहाँ से बाहर निकलो आप, निकलने दो. कौन था? Who stopped them, sir? Why is it okay?
We are the ones.
Why is it okay?
And Devender, Rana and Dr. Seshadri, Chari, let me draw your attention to the fact that out of these 250 students in this school who are from below the poverty line families, there are 150 female students. Female students for whom shifting means larger travel, longer travel, which means more trouble for their parents to go and drop them and pick them up, because these parents are daily wage workers as well. All of these issues need to be considered. But let me make a point here, ladies and gentlemen. We here on Times Now are with the parents and the children. We believe that what has been meted out to them is gross injustice, and it is nothing but high-handedness of the state leadership that has caused them distress and pain. No child should ever be made to feel humiliated in the manner that they have been made to feel. Children should not be herded like they're treated like cattle, like the way they were. They have rights and the state has no business running roughshod over them. Priority for the state should be to move more schools into and get more teachers for these students rather than removing them from the schools that they already are in. In fact, if we want to crack down, then let them crack down on preferred appointments and teachers on paper. Let them dare to penalize and purge the high and mighty who have misused the system rather than traumatize the poor children. For Mehbooba Mufti, and I'd like to appeal to the Chief Minister of Jammu and Kashmir and her team that parking lots should not be priority. Getting children back to school, protecting and restoring educational institutions should be their priority. Until they realize this and give the children their right to education, Times Now will continue to fight to save our schools. Save our schools is our campaign, and that we will continue to follow here on Times Now. But let me take that question to Manju Kak. She's an activist. Manju Kak, how do you see this insensitivity? 250 students in that school being herded just like that from one location to another, not even given benches to sit on, no regard to the exams that they are going to face in 2 months from now. Is this the way state governments should behave when it comes to educational institutions, when they are building up the future generations of this country?
Well, frankly, if it's not a vote, it doesn't count. So education is cannon fodder because minor children don't vote. And so they don't come into the ken or the understanding of the political bosses. Parking lots give you builders and builders give you money. So when you weight on a weighing scale, you say kids that don't vote in any way are from deprived classes, and here is a catchment area of economic commerce, then that is the decision you make regardless of which party you belong to. That's the first thing. The second thing is that if there is genuine concern for education and social movement, then the focus of all political parties at this point of time, regardless of orientation, would have been to sit in dharna, because perception of the government being insensitive was so huge that there should have been a public outcry. If it wasn't there, all the people who are there in the politics of Jammu and Kashmir state stand to actually admit that they are merely using the state for power gaining and power mongering, and there is no interest in the human being of Jammu Kashmir state at all, regardless of whether it's Hurriyat or Panthar Party or BJP or PDP. They only are using people as cannon fodder. This becomes very clear in this incident. And that sense of entitlement that the Kashmiri politician has is openly exposed. That entitlement is working not for the benefit of the people, it is working for self-aggrandizement only.
Manju ji, I just want to bring in Sunita Devi ji. I have a question, I want to understand this. Sunita ji, आपकी बेटी जो है, आपके बच्चे जो हैं, उस स्कूल में कितने साल से पढ़ रहे हैं?
सर मेरे बच्चे तो, बड़ी लड़की ने तो 10th की हुई है, अभी उसके 2 सब्जेक्ट रह गए, और छोटी जो है वो 8th पढ़ रही है।
8th पढ़ रही है, और तो उनका दाखिला शुरू से वहीं पे था और वहीं से वहीं पे पढ़ रहे हैं?
वहीं से पढ़ रहे हैं बड़ी, छोटी।
अब मैं आपसे ये जानना चाहूंगा, आपने कभी उस स्कूल में 80 टीचर देखे हैं? क्योंकि हमें बताया गया है
कितने
80 टीचर।
तो टोटल नेपोटिज्म है इन द स्कूल टीचिंग सिस्टम।
सर बताओ, जब कल कह रहे हैं कि 80 बच्चे नहीं हो तो टीचर कहां से आ गए 80?
नहीं, क्योंकि नहीं वो ये बोल रहे हैं कि सॉरी, मैं माफी चाहता हूं, 80 बच्चे हैं और 40 टीचर हैं। आपने वहां 40 टीचर देखे हैं?
सर ये सरासर झूठ है। पहले बताओ कि कौन सा जमाना जहां बच्चे नहीं पढ़ते। आजकल तो पढ़ाई की अहमियत है कि नहीं, वो पहले जमाने की बात नहीं है, अब की बात है। 250 बच्चे वहां
नहीं, अगर 250 बच्चे, मैं पूछ रहा हूं टीचर, वहां पे 40 टीचर हैं क्या? आपने कभी 40 टीचर देखे?
टीचरों का मेरे को नहीं पता, बट ये है कि बच्चा 250 है, टीचर चाहे 1000 लगा ले, हमें क्या पता कितनी टीचर है।
नहीं, पर मैं जानना चाहता हूं, आपने करीब वहां 15-20 टीचर देखे हैं या 40 टीचर देखे हैं? क्योंकि ये सवाल मैं आपसे इसलिए पूछ रहा हूं
सर, मैं कल परसों जब गई थी
हाँ।
तो तब तो 10 भी नहीं थे, मेरे को नहीं पता 40 है कि कहाँ रखे थे।
हाँ, तो ये दिस इज द रियल इशू। शबनम लोन, this is the
conspiracy. It's obviously an economic conspiracy.
Can I come in? Anand,
I'll tell you what. You know, the
Anand,
reality,
can I come in?
Yeah, I'm just coming to you with just one statistic which I wanted to put out, that there is one teacher in the district of Baramulla as of 2015. There are 81 schools with just one teacher. 150 schools in the district have a single classroom for an overall strength of 3,053 students. Dr. Chari, if you're listening, sir, the question should be asked of those people who put 40 teachers in that one school at City Chowk. What should have been moved should have been these 40 teachers out of that place, not those 80 students who have now become 250. Shabnam loan, that's the reality. The reality is that these people are
Anand,
teachers on paper.
can I come in?
The reality is that they are all related to some
Anand,
bureaucrats or higher ups in the political system, and they have got their appointments at the City Chowk, so it is central and
I'm
convenient.
telling you,
Just largesse.
Anand,
Distribution of
this is a scam. This is a scam. Now, let me first of all congratulate Times Now, Anand, for the relentless way you have held on to this subject. Congratulations, Times Now. And believe me, we are all with you. Way to go, Times Now. Now, let me put it in this context. I've heard you since yesterday. You have been saying that they should have been given a notice. No, Anand, no notice is needed. I'm telling you what is the. I'll give you the legality. Now, right to education is a fundamental right. Right to dignity is a fundamental right. Right to be treated equally is a fundamental right. Every single fundamental right of these children has been violated. One. Secondly, why is it a scam? Now take the person who will benefit from this parking lot. Please go to other aspects. How much money is that man going to make? Find out. To whom was it to be given? Now I heard the learned Deputy Chief Minister saying that some compensation will be given. Sir, there is no compensation where there is fulmination of your fundamental rights. Sir, there is no compensation where there is violation of your dignity and your right to be treated equally. They are BPL children, and let me tell you another thing. This is a mid-session going on. We have Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan under the HRD ministry. Now, as per the Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan, you need to have a school in every mohalla, a primary school. Then you need to have a school after every 2.5 kilometers. That is up to 8th class.
No, here's the
Then
problem,
you need
Shabnam.
to have a school
Here they have a
after
problem
every
because there are
4
two schools
kilometers.
within 2 kilometers. They have 2 schools within 2 kilometers and
So
it's a
they can
problem.
still have-
Unko
no,
khatak raha hai.
no,
But
this
let
is
me
what
ask
I'm
you this,
saying.
Shabnam. I just have a query.
They cannot,
No,
they
we
cannot
welcome your
shift the
comments,
school.
Shabnam. No,
They
no,
cannot
we
shift
welcome
the
your
school
comments, but do you
as
feel
per-
as strongly
because
about
it's
the
in the
44 schools, about the 44 schools that have been burnt down in the valley? Are
Of
you going
course,
to, are you
I'm
going to
saying,
take it up? Have you taken
the
up?
schools
Have you,
that
have you,
been burned down,
are you planning to
Anand,
take these people
Anand,
to
the
court?
schools that have been burned down, the state government has failed miserably. What is the answer of the state government?
No, what is the
They
answer
have
of
asked
those
the
people who
teachers
burnt down these
to
schools?
act as chokidars. For a change,
What do
why
you want to
doesn't the
tell those
minister
people
go
who
and
burnt down
stay
these
in
schools?
one school for the night?
What about
What do you
the
want to
people of
tell
Kashmir,
those who burnt down these
Shabnam?
schools?
Why haven't
What
they
about
come
the
out in
people of
numbers?
Kashmir? Did
Why
they
don't
raise
they
their
come and
voice?
agitate?
Did this become a campaign for them?
Of course,
Did
what
they try to draw
has
the
the
attention
government,
of the government to Jammu and Kashmir
has the
to
government
these
arrested the
issues?
people?
Or are we
Of the
always
people of
talking
Kashmir.
Where are
about
the
our own
perpetrators?
rights?
Where are the
Have the
perpetrators?
mothers and fathers
Who
come
are
out
the
in
perpetrators and why they have
mass
not been arrested?
and protested?
When children's
Regardless of
future is
political
being
orientation.
taken away
We
from
will
them,
be
and
with
let
the
me go
government.
back
There
to
you
Dr.
see the double
Seshadri Chari.
standards.
Let me go back to Dr.
आप
Seshadri
टीवी
Chari.
में तो कह रही हैं
There you see
Okay,
the double
okay, ladies and
standards.
gentlemen,
What
let me
double
go back to Dr. Seshadri
We should
Chari.
all
Dr.
be-
Seshadri Chari, the question.
Don't try to politicize this.
Anand.
Don't try to politicize
Yes.
this.
Double
We
standards.
should all be having
Okay,
one-
okay, Shabnam Lone, let me go back to Dr. Seshadri Chari. Dr. Seshadri Chari, once again, I implore you, you've heard the parent Sunita Devi just now. They say there are 40 teachers in the school, but there actually are only 10 or 12. That's the amount that are, visible to the students. Where are the other teachers? We don't quite know. There are 250 students, 150 students who are female, who cannot travel to a greater distance. Should no attention be paid to them? Can the state government, and Dr. Seshadri Chari, I ask you this question. You are somebody who said you'll bring sensitivity back to Jammu and Kashmir. Your government promised to bring that back to Jammu and Kashmir. Can the state government give a NOC, a no objection certificate, for making a parking lot in the place where the school was without even contacting the stakeholders? That's my question, Dr. Seshadri Chari. Are you treating these students like cattle? You can just herd them out
No, there
one
are-
fine day to a new location, ask them to sit without chairs and tables, and want to give them education. Can you actually just remove them from the scene? Because one fine day the state government issues an NOC, a no objection certificate, without even talking to the stakeholders, the students or the parents. Is that the way sensitive governments operate, Dr. Seshadri Chari?
There are three. I'll summarize three different issues. The first issue is the burning down of schools. I have told you, in any state, especially in the state of Jammu and Kashmir, the series of burning of schools is an act of terror. Therefore, it should be looked at as an act of terror and not as a political issue. You were asking all the political parties what they were doing. The question is not what they were doing or what the present government is doing. I think the central government and the state government will have to act together and give enough protection as far as the schools are concerned, and all the burnt down schools should be reconstructed, and education, the process of education should continue. That is one. As far as the present, this particular issue is concerned, going by the facts and circumstances of the case, if I am again saying, I am not saying that the state government is what the state government has done is right or wrong. The question is, if they have not followed the standard operating procedures, it is wrong. They should have followed the standard operating procedure.
Why is if?
Whatever the reason
Why
was,
you put
the
qualified
way they
with
have
if?
conducted themselves. If it is wrong, I think the state government should retract and go back and restore the
Ask him, is it
situation
wrong
as
or
it
not?
was. And if they have to shift the students to some other
But
safer place,
you've heard
they are
the
free to do
parent
it.
here on the
But
show.
Converting a
Dr.
school,
Seshadri
converting
Chari,
a
you've
school
heard Sunita
into
Devi, she's a
parking
parent,
lot
she's
doesn't
on the
seem to
show.
be very
You've heard
logical.
her.
I have told
No
you that.
notice
I
was
can tell
given
you
to
10
them.
more times.
Where is the
However,
question
No
of
notice
how
was
we
given
have
to
my
them.
I'm telling you
Chari?
again and again.
How can you
Converting a
still
school
say
into a parking lot
if
doesn't
standard
seem to be
operating
very
procedures
feasible
were followed or
unless
not
there is a
followed?
compelling
Where is the
reason.
question of an
Unless
if,
there is a
Dr.
Why are you
compelling
playing
reason
it
for you
safe?
to convert
Why are
the
you playing
school
it
into
safe?
something
Why are you not
else.
saying the state government has done something wrong?
Dr. Seshadri
Why are you
Chari.
qualifying it with if?
Dr. Seshadri Chari, the question is, there is a parent on the show.
I am-
We brought the parent
As
only
far as
so
the
that if
facts
you
and
had any doubts,
circumstances are concerned, the facts that I have received, I will cross-check with the facts. That is why I am saying, if this state government has done something wrong, and apparently if they have not followed the standard operating procedures, they are wrong and they should correct it.
what is a
But at the
standard
same
operating
time,
procedure? Giving an NOC?
I think the state government
Giving an
will have
NOC
to
to
relook the
remove
whole
the children
issue.
and convert it into
we cannot go
a
by the
absolute
facts
parking
that are
lot for
available as of
200
now.
cars? Is that the standing
Children
operating
should study
procedure?
Dr. Chari, if a school has to be moved, it takes 1 year of advocacy
The
and
question
taking
is-
parents into
the question
confidence and
is-
opinion building
May I
before such
question
things are
is-
done.
If
These
you
things are
want to
never
convert
done
a school
in
into
an
something
operating
else,
procedure.
there is a standard operating
Manju Kak and
procedure.
Dr. Chari.
Chairperson who runs
Manju
That is
Kak
what
and
I'm
Dr.
saying.
Chari. No, but sir, if they were waiting, why should they do it in December? What's the hurry? Why couldn't they wait for the term to complete? Let the exams happen after March. Anyway, they will go into holidays for about 2 months. They could have done the same. They could have done it then. Shabnam Loan can't hear you right. Devender. So what was the hurry? Where is the rationale? Are you trying to
No,
say
1
that
minute.
no,
One
a divisional
minute.
commissioner,
Anand, this is violation
divisional
of the law.
commissioner,
I have told
divisional
you- It is
commissioner.
culminating
told
the
you-
law.
No,
in
civil
clear terms.
Violation of the
secretariat
law.
is 400 meters
Anand,
away.
head should roll.
The divisional
Anand,
commissioner, he is an administrative officer,
He's
sir.
on television
be
talking.
Are you trying to say he is
That
devoid of
is
common
wrong.
sense?
Swell of public opinion.
Are you trying to say he is devoid of devoid of common sense that they'll wait for the term to get over? But that's the issue. I just want to go back to the larger issue, Navika, for a second. I want to bring in Irfan Hafeez loan, Shabnam loan, and Sushil Pandita. The fact
one
is,
minute,
Devender, Rana, I have Irfan Hafeez loan has already
one minute on
Yeah.
this issue. No, on this issue,
Yeah.
1 minute. Where Dr. Seshadri Chari said the standard operating procedure, my thing is a commercial parking lot more important than a school? One. Two, there is a master plan. He's
Sir,
talking about the standard operating
Devender, Rana, I want you to
procedure.
ask
Wait
a
minute.
question
There's
to
a
those
master
people
plan
who
of the
burned
city.
these 44
No,
schools.
One minute,
one point.
1 minute.
I want you to ask a question to them also, sir.
But what are you trying to do? We have already asked the question. We have asked the government who has
No,
burned
not the
those schools?
government,
Why
sir.
are they
I want
not
you to
brought
ask the
book? It is
people
from the
who
union
burned.
government
No,
and
I
the
want you to.
state
I want you to
government.
make a statement tonight to those people.
Who am I to identify the people?
No,
The
I'm
state
saying
government,
you don't need to
it is the
identify,
state
but you can make a statement to those who did it.
No. If you don't want to discuss this, then wait a minute.
No, we want
Understand
to
this.
discuss
You are
it.
talking about
I just
standard
want to urge
operating
you to
procedure.
say. I
There
just
is a
want to
master
urge you to
plan.
say.
Wait a minute. There is an important point. There is an important point.
No,
I'll
no,
come
there
to
is
that.
no
Let's take
standard
my
operating
point.
I
procedure.
want you to make a
There
statement
are
to those
rules.
people who
What
burned
are the
down
standard
schools.
operating
There are
procedure?
rules which have
There is
been
no standard
bypassed.
operating
Sir, I
procedure.
want you to make
There
a
are rules.
statement
There is a
to
master
those
plan.
who burned
There is a
down
master
schools.
plan. How is this?
Sir,
rules
I
have
want
been
you to
violated.
make a
Those who have
statement.
burned down schools, wait a minute. Yes, I'll make a statement. Listen to me. I'll make a statement. Those who have burned down schools and are trying to destroy the education, it is the responsibility of the state government and the union government to identify them, punish them, and secure the schools. We will stand by the government in
But
this
where is
exercise
your
of punishing
responsibility,
those who are
sir?
destroying the education.
Where is your
So
responsibility
as a political
politician?
party, shouldn't you have been out on the streets,
Where is your
Devender Rana?
responsibility in
As a political
galvanizing
party,
people?
shouldn't you have been out on the streets when those schools were being burnt?
Which
Should
of
you
your
have
people
actually
represent
pressed that the
Kashmir
government
has
brought
been
in
on
and
the
replaced
streets?
those schools at the
For
earliest?
education, we can
Shouldn't
go
you
to
have
extent.
made that a
For
campaign?
education, we can go to
आप
extent.
पूछिए इनमें से कौन
96
जमीन पे
No, no,
galvanize
no,
कर रहा था?
no,
Okay,
No,
Sushil Pandit, Sushil
Can we all the
Pandit, is
schools?
the National Conference taking the easy way out, and is the BJP also taking the easy way out
Of
by
course.
referring to all this legalese
Why-
and
why
verbosity
can't
and
we-
standard
before-
operating
before
procedures,
Sushil
and
Pandit
if
comes
there
in.
is anything
Before-
wrong,
before-
is
before
there,
Sushil
I mean,
Pandit
you
comes
don't need rocket science to tell you, is there something wrong about converting a school into a parking lot? Yes or no? There are no grays,
do
there are
that.
no shades of
You can't do
anything
that.
else, but it's a black and white question.
So,
Is it right to have
You
a
can't
school
do
being
that, Navika.
removed or
You
converted
can't do
into
that.
a parking
Yes.
lot for 200 cars?
Yes.
Yes or no, Sushil Pandit?
You can't.
Navika, There are standard operating procedures.
Sushil Pandit, 1 minute. Sushil,
It is incredible.
Operating procedure for what?
Mr. Rana, hear me out. You have standard operating procedures for everything, including a murder or a terror strike. Please hear me out. The issue here is that whether you like it or not, Devender Rana, may I beg for your,
Devender Rana, allow him to speak. He didn't intervene when you spoke. Devender Rana, allow Sushil Pandit to speak.
On this debate.
Allow Sushil Pandit to speak.
just started speaking.
Mr. Devender Rana, Sushil Pandit
I have not
hasn't
even
spoken
spent
on
a
this
second
debate.
speaking.
Can we give him the courtesy of making one statement, Mr. Devender Rana, before I come back to you?
No, Devender Rana, please wait. Please wait. Sushil Pandit. Sushil Pandit.
My request to you.
Sushil Pandit.
Mr. Rana, whether you like it or not,
Sushil Pandit.
my
No, Devender Rana, allow us to decide who speaks when.
Just one
You have spoken for 40 minutes on the debate. Sushil Pandit hasn't. Let him speak. Please hold on to your thoughts. Yes, Sushil Pandit.
all I wish to state, Mr. Devender Rana, that your state and my state, Jammu and Kashmir, unfortunately, have today acquired a calling card, and that calling card is about burning schools, is about demolishing schools, is about usurping schools, and that too for parking lots. And when a woman chief minister rules the state and 250 girl students are turned out, when a prime minister who has given a call for Beti Bachao, Beti Padhao, you do this to your schools, and both are partners in that government which runs the state. My worry is, all this is symptomatic of the fact that our mainstream political parties in Kashmir have become a parking lot for soft separatists. The Legislative Assembly in Kashmir has become a parking lot for jihadis and terror sympathizers. There are so many other parking lots.
I object. Sushil Pandit, I strongly object.
I can give you
Your objection is noted, Devender Rana.
I can give you examples, sir.
Let him make his point. Let him complete and rebut. Let him complete, Devender Rana. Let him complete, Devender Rana.
Anyway, I don't want
Let him complete, Devender Rana. Let him complete. Let him complete, Devender Rana. Let him complete, Devender Rana.
Or the coalition partners, no matter how they define themselves, nationalists or patriots, have become parking lot of apologists.
1 minute.
He's correct.
This entire system has become a parking lot, and parking lot has become an ugly metaphor for the state of Jammu and
It is not
Kashmir.
a parking lot.
Please wake up to this reality, this ugly reality.
Sushil Pandit, you have hit the nail on the head, Sushil Pandit.
You get elected.
Sushil Pandit.
Of course.
Sushil Pandit, you have hit the nail on the head.
Standing up for
Because Sushil Pandit,
So Devender
when schools
Rana-
were being burnt down, there was no outrage in Jammu and Kashmir from all these people who are pointing fingers
No
at each other.
public outrage.
Nobody came out on the streets and said, how dare you? How dare you spoil the future of the children of your state when you claim to be fighting for your own state? Irfan Hafeez Loan, you're a lawyer yourself.
1 minute.
Where was your outrage, sir? Will you want to make a statement to those people who burnt schools along with those people who want to convert schools into parking lots?
And we'll come back to you.
Irfan Hafeez Loan.
Okay. I'll wait for that.
Yes, Mr. Anand. See, rule of law, as we all know, is something which is basic structure of the constitution. I said and I repeat it. But in Kashmir, J&K state, let me tell you very honestly, this rule of law, humanity, freedom of speech, liberty, beside all this governance, accountability, transparency is worst victim. I would like to apprise you, you can just understand what is the state of affairs. I obtained information under Right to Information Act that under Manrega, to prevent misuse, embezzlement of the funds, the act provides there should be the ombudsman. Kindly see, in 2010, government invited applications from the qualified eligible persons in 2010 for the appointment of ombudsman. Till date, ombudsman is not appointed. See, our state
What is your position on education in schools? Should schools, education
Yes,
and
I am
children be
coming to the
kept
point.
out
What I am
of all
trying
the
to say
politicking,
is,
profiteering and stone pelting?
How
we are digressing.
insensitive
Let me
Our
ask you
government-
straightforward.
Have you
No,
finished
no.
the school
We
business?
have
Irfan
the
Hafeez
State
loan.
Accountability Commission.
Whatever
That
you
is
want to
defunct.
raise issues with the
That is
politics, let
defunct.
me ask you
That
this.
is defunct.
Do all the
See, what
panelists
I am trying
tonight
to say,
believe
in a
that
conflict
schools,
zone, these
children,
politicians,
schools,
Mr. Anand,
children
just
and
hold on a
education
while.
should be kept
I
outside the
heard you
purview
very
of
patiently.
politicking, profiteering and stone pelting? Irfan Hafeez loan, my question is straightforward.
Yes, sir.
The
That's
answer
the
is
most
yes or no.
important point.
The answer is
That's-
yes or no. Tell me
that's the
something.
most important
Should this be a
point
carte blanche, unwritten law? No matter what is called for, schools will never be shut. No matter what is done, exams will never be postponed. Because, sir, the message that's given out by 95% of the children who turned down to write their exams is, we want to study. The message that's been given by
Yes,
these children,
education
these
is
young
something
children
to
in
talk
Jammu,
about
these
it
young
for
girls
us.
is,
We
हमें
should
कहीं
not
भी बिठा दो,
indulge
हमें
in
exam
politicking.
लिखना है बस.
All I am trying to
That's
say
the attitude,
is
sir.
conflict zone.
That is the attitude.
Hafeez,
And all of you, sir,
Hafeez,
all parties, all
you were
leaders,
given your
everybody has been
opportunity.
given
You
a
can
nice
speak
tight
anything
slap
on
on the
the
face by these
education
young
issue.
children
That's the
saying,
usual debate.
don't play with our
But
future.
Devendra Rana, my last
That's the
question
message,
to
sir.
you.
want
Devendra Rana,
to
the
guard
question
our
is,
schools.
why is
We require
education
Sunita
not a
for
campaign
that.
for
No,
political
no,
parties?
Anand,
Why,
what
when
do you
schools
intend
are
now
burned down,
doing
do
about
you
this
not
particular
question
school?
those who abet the burning down of those schools? And let me be very clear here, when we say those who abet, we also talk of the separatists among other people. As Dr. Seshadri Chari points out, it's not just a terror activity, it's also the statements that came in from separatists. Devendra Rana, should that not be a priority for you?
Navika.
Because this is about building the future
Navika,
generation.
Navika,
Why
Navika,
do
Navika.
political parties
Absolutely.
like yours
Absolutely.
not raise their voice on these issues?
Navika, with due deference to all the panelists, and I was also requesting Sushil Pandit, we may differ on many issues, and as he rightly said, it's our own state. Today, I think the best thing to do would be that we all together make an appeal to the state government and together work to save this school. That will be the best tribute. And let's not get into politics on this. What did I say? What did I do? There will be many occasions to do. This should be politics neutral. Education should be politics. It is our concern. And we all will fail if we do not unitedly talk about it. I'll appeal to Dr. Seshadri Chari also. This appeal should also come from him. We should all rise above our political stand and not look at whose government it is. And
Nice message, Devender Rana. We'd like to see
Well, we wait
everybody
to
to
see
rise
that
above
day.
politics.
We wait to see that day, Devendra Rana, when politicians will put aside their differences, when politicians will actually get together for something that actually matters, and something like schools that actually matter to the children of this country, and especially in a state like Jammu and Kashmir, which has seen unrest, which has gone through a lot of strife. It needs a healing touch. We'll wait and watch whether political parties like yours, the National Conference, can come together with the BJP, PDP to save one school. If you could save this one school in Jammu, it will be a yeoman service that you will do to mankind and you will do to the state of Jammu and Kashmir. But can you, political parties and politicians, actually get together to actually do something that's worthwhile for your constituency, even if these children don't vote? That is the question. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen, for joining us here on debate number 1. We'll take a short